Let's talk about Chappell Roan's birth chart in light of everything going on. She has Moon conjunct Pluto in the second house in Sagittarius. It's an incredibly close conjunction that fuses the energies of the Moon and Pluto together. She has a very free-spirited, adventurous vibe in her music that drew a lot of fans to her, but this thrill, experience-seeking, and optimistic Moon is tightly conjunct Pluto, and this changes its qualities drastically. Emotions, emotional needs, and safety, represented by the Moon, fuses with Pluto, and Pluto is intensity, power, obsession, and control. This definitely brings to mind those videos of her in a paranoid but seeking out state where she's looking around for people looking at her, just so she can tell her security guard to ask them to look away. Pluto, in its lower vibrational state, is control-seeking in an unhealthy and almost nefarious way. She feels emotionally safe, Moon, when she's in control over the people who are looking at her, and feels the rush of power associated with having control over whether or not they can look at her. This is very low vibrational plutonic behavior. Pluto is also manipulation in its lower state. It's come out that she has exaggerated her lower class upbringing and actually grew up in a family that apparently grew to be one of the richest in her home state of Missouri. With the Moon and Pluto in the second house of money and physical resources, we can see the potential for emotional manipulation regarding her own financial state to advance her public image, as her Sagittarius Moon rules her 10th house of career and public reputation. Emotional manipulation regarding finances to advance her public reputation. With her Sagittarius Moon conjunct Pluto ruling her midheaven, this also means that her less than savory emotional plutonic energies are playing out on the public stage, which is very much what's happening right now. It also doesn't help that this Moon-Pluto conjunction in the second house is squaring up with her Mercury, Sun, and Jupiter conjunction in the fifth house. This shows inherent tension between how she earns money, as represented by the second house, and her creative, artistic expression, represented by the fifth house. Her true nature is that of a deeply creative, expressive artist, but this perhaps clashes with how she earns in the industry. I think we've seen how unhappy she appears to be at times, and I bet this unhappiness with how she is earning is stifling her creative self-expression. The second house Moon-Pluto conjunction is likely dominant in this square compared to the fifth house stellium, because she doesn't seem to be enjoying herself so much as her fifth house stellium would suggest. The fifth house is a house of enjoyment and fun. This is further supported by the paranoid, controlling type of behavior represented in the second house. Squaring planets and houses are kind of like the elements of fire and water, which is actually represented here, as obviously Sagittarius is fire and Pisces is water. The goal with this is to learn how to make steam. Perhaps when she is forced to confront and overcome her controlling and manipulative tendencies, she will find more joy and free expression again, as represented by the fifth house. Finding balance in her second and fifth house energies will enable her to be favorable in the public eye again. So let me know who you'd like me to cover next.